Let me tell you right now, this game is absolutely brutal. We start our adventure by looking at the character creator that has some very wild body sliders. We turn all the options up to the maximum limit, and then the game drops us into a giant desert to show us how small we really are. In less than 1 hour, we fall to our death from mountain bridges. We get eaten by wild hyenas. We get chased by angry deer, and we get beaten to a pulp by the local savages. Did I manage to survive this terrible world, find the tiger pet, and win my battles? Or did the desert bird eat my dead body for breakfast? Let's see what actually happened, because this game is completely mental. We start the game by making our new character, and let me tell you, I have never blushed so much during a character creation screen in my life. They have adult sliders for everything, so... But enough of those shenanigans. The actual game starts and our character is strapped on a wooden cross. Apparently, we are left out here to die in the sun because we forgot how to use correct punctuation. What a terrible crime, right? Out of nowhere, a giant warrior walks out of the desert sand to save our lives.
Are you thirsty, dead man?
He cuts us down from the cross. This guy is completely ripped. He's a total gym bro. His muscles are so sharp you could probably cut vegetable on his stomach. After he leaves, we are met with our basic survival tasks. Collect rocks, pick up sticks, and gather plant fiber. The game layout looks a bit old, but it fits the wild barbarian theme perfectly. We have meters for hunger, thirst, and temperature. Right from the start, this is the real deal. I collected enough bushes and stone to craft my first basic set of clothes. I made some coarse gloves, boots, pants, and a basic chest piece to cover my character. Next, I opened the main menu tabs, and there are a lot of options here. Knowledge tab lets you unlock new crafting recipes using your points. The Attributes tab lets you choose your passive perks. I spent my starting points to unlock basic tools. I gathered more branches and crafted a stone pick, a stone axe, a stone sword, and a small bedroll. Looking around the dry desert, I saw a green area in the distance, and I ran towards it right away. Where there is green, there are trees and fresh water. But this was my very first major mistake. By running here, I went away from my main journal steps. I would later regret this choice a lot, and you will see what I started chopping down some trees when a group of savages rushed out to attack. We started fighting. But suddenly the savages stopped and looked at the moving bush nearby. I followed them to see what was happening, but that giant bush was actually a massive humanoid turtle monster. It was very angry and ready to end our lives. The savages folded like cheap paper under the giant hands of the turtle. I became its primary target. I tried to hit it with my sword, but my attacks just tickled the beast. It had a literal boss skull icon next to its name. I turned around and ran for my life. Once I escaped the turtle, a pack of small goblin creatures jumped. These guys were not as scary, so I swung my sword and killed them easily. I harvested their bodies for hide and feral flesh, used a bandage, and kept moving. I had to fight a few more of them. Before the giant turtle boss could return for round 2. I started running again and realized this game has climbing mechanics. You can climb up almost any wall. I ran until I jumped into a deep river. The monster stopped at the edge. It looks like they will not follow you into deep water. I gathered resources, made more bandages, and found the savages from earlier. Harvested their bodies for human meat. This game looks absolutely great. The new graphics in the enhanced editions are amazing. I wish more survival games would look this clean. While looking for a flat plot of land for my base, I got chased by alligators, turtles, and wild hyenas. Those hyenas are terrifying and will give me real mental trauma later on. I tried to fight one of them, but it was way too strong. So I climbed onto a tall rock to escape. I took my revenge out on a wild rabbit and a deer instead, harvesting them for food. Because I am a total loot goblin, my bags became full very quickly. My character could barely move. I stopped to spend my attribute points. Since survival games require a lot of running and gathering, I looked for a weight scheme. So I put my points into expertise so I could unlock a perk called Beast of Burden. This perk lets you carry an infinite amount of items and still run and dodge more. With my weight stats upgraded, I approached a barbarian camp. 3 of them noticed me and started running at me with weapons. I knew I was in deep trouble. Once again, I ran away for my life. Night fell on the desert, and I still did not have a roof over my head. I crafted a torch to see in the dark and instantly walked into a group of crocodiles. I jumped directly onto a mountain, climbing up high to escape their jaws. I kept moving through the dark night and found a cave full of those goblin creatures. I decided to go inside and explore. I fought them one by one so they would not overwhelm me with numbers. But my sword swings were not as fast as their monster spawn. After killing a bunch of them, I just ran past the rest to see the back of the cave. It was a small cave, but it had some weird crystals on the walls. I mined them as fast as I could and got the hell out of there. By the time I left the cave, the sun was coming up. I walked across a nice savannah area and found some coal veins. I found some iron veins as well, but some red lizards started spitting green goo at me from far away. So I ran away once again. Finally, I arrived at a wide open space. It was close to coal, iron, water, and trees. This was the perfect spot for a starter base, so I got to it. I placed my bedroll so I would spawn here if I died. I opened my knowledge tab and unlocked the apprentice mason recipes, furnace, a carpenter's bench, iron tools, and a tanner. I unlocked the major perk in my expertise tree that gives you double resources on your final harvest hit. I crafted a construction hammer and started building our first house structure. I quickly realized that every single foundation block and wall takes a massive amount of resources, so the grind was real. Night came, and I placed down my furnace. I added all our gathered iron ore to start smelting it into bars.
One eternity later.
Once the roof was done, I used my new iron bars to craft an iron sickle. I tested it out on the local bushes and my god, it feels so satisfying. Resources flooded into my inventory bags. I cooked some steak and placed the front door. I added stairs to the front porch and I realized I could place stairs inside the house to build a second floor. I also noticed this game has a feature that many survival games completely miss: an automatic sorting box. Each box can be set to hold one specific material type. Thank you, developers. While I was out gathering wood, a wild elk suddenly attacked me with its horns. My weak bow did almost zero damage. Suddenly, some local savages ran out from their village. They ignored me, killed the elk, and walked back home. I harvested the dead elk and kept moving. I found a huge cave with a giant crocodile inside. But this one was different. It had 3 dead skulls next to its name. I sneaked past it, mined the iron veins behind its back, and ran the hell out. During the night resource run, I saw some glowing ghosts dancing on top of an old building. I tried to attack Lone Savage, but his friends ambushed me.
Soon my teeth will taste your throat.
And I had to flee once again. Back at the base, I placed my bed, took a quick nap, and enjoyed the view from my new balcony. It felt nice to have a complete house. But the break was over. I crafted an iron hatchet and an iron axe. It was time to go all the way back to the starting desert to complete that first journal quest we skipped. The moment night fell in the starter zone, the nightmare began. 2 giant rock monsters charged at me out of the dark. I scrambled up a rock wall to save my life. I had to climb down the other side in total darkness. And a pack of hyenas ambushed me on a narrow mountain bridge. They bit my legs and left me at exactly 1 health point. I ran and jumped off a small ledge. But I died from a 1-meter fall. My pain was just getting started. I don't know what I was thinking, but I decided to spawn directly in the desert instead of my base. I found the missing journal next to a gargoyle eating grapes.
Gods curse this sandstorm.
I had to craft 11 stone tools in pure panic while running butt naked from goblins. I made a basic armor set so I wouldn't die instantly. I found some baby humanoid turtles on the sand. I pressed the interact button and my character picked one up into his inventory. This is how you get pets in this game. You just steal the babies. But the mother and father turtle were definitely not happy. They chased me into the deep river and I swam away. I finished the rest of the steps, killed the bunny, healed my wounds, harvested the human corpse for meat, filled my water bag, and cooked the meat on a fire. The first journal was finally done. But the next journal wanted me to build walls, which I already did at my base. But unfortunately, it did not count. So I started running back home to get my old corpse that was full of my expensive iron tools. I picked up 3 more baby turtles along the road. I walked into a small barbarian camp, killed a few enemies, but a naked, crazy female archer shot me directly in the head. And I'm dead. But this time, I really had huge distractions. I ran back to get my new corpse, grabbed my gear, and got ambushed by crocodiles. And again, climbed the rock to save my life.
Gods take you. Curse you.
I finally arrived at the spot where my original body died with all my iron tools. And in total shock, it was completely gone. Everything was lost. Bodies in this game despawn after a certain amount of time, and I wasted too much time doing journal entries. My hard-earned full iron tool set vanished into the dirt. While running home in the sadness, another barbarian settlement appeared and an archer killed me instantly. Dead again, naked again. I spawned back at my main base. I had to craft everything for a second time. While trying to gather iron near my house, a wild crocodile chased me inside my building. It literally glitched through my closed front door and was trying to kill me. I really cannot catch a break in this game. I decided to craft a heavy set called Slave Forge Sacrificial Armor Set. It requires a massive amount of animal hide and it takes a lot of time to process. Once equipped, my character looked exactly like Hannibal Lecter. I used this armor to complete the building journal tasks. I placed a foundation, a wall, a door frame, used the copy tool hammer, and placed the storage box. Journal entry number 2 was complete. All that death. Next was the warrior path. I used the two-handed hammer to apply Sunder status effect to an enemy. I hit a new level and put my final point into expertise. We finally unlocked Beast of Burden. No more heavy backgrounds. I crafted the shield, a stone pike, caught a wild baby gazelle on the road, and completed the warrior journey. I burned through the tamer and armor journals next. Crafted lighted padding, light armor, and unlocked new blueprints for furnaces and cauldrons. I crafted an iron skinning knife and a medium armor set to complete the expert armorer steps. To make the next tier of gear, we need thick hide from large bears. Well, that means more pain is coming. I finished the alchemist journal by placing a cauldron, harvesting aloe leaves, and drinking an aloe potion. I built a massive animal pen for our pets, a stable for mounts, and placed the wheel of pain in the shade of my house. I put our 3 baby gazelles inside with some grass, but they take a very long time to grow up.
One eternity later.
Okay.
I finished the homesteader journal by placing a table and a chair out on my balcony for a morning coffee. Now for the real challenge, taming human thralls. I crafted a wooden club and some gruel food. I went to a nearby camp to find a fighter and a smelter. Campfighter kicked my ass completely, but in round 2, my health dropped to near death.
My claws are sharp, pup. Are yours?
So I tried to run away down a steep hill. Guess what happened? Yep, the hill was too steep, my character broke in half and died on the spot. Everything in this game can freaking kill you. It is so freaking brutal. I returned for round 3 with a new strategy. I separated the smelter from the fighter. Used my club. And knocked him unconscious. I tied a rope to his legs and dragged his body across rough rocks all the way back at our base. I placed him on the wheel of pain and fed him gruel to start the taming process. I went back for round 4 and finally killed that campfighter using my bow and axe. While heading into the savannah to search for brimstone, a wild tiger jumped out from the grass and mauled me to death. I panicked so hard I forgot to press the record button. On the walk back to get my corpse, I found a giant tower called the Mechamoses Spire. Yeah, that one, that tower. Populated by a friendly clan.
Greetings, Exile.
Found an odd item that looked like a bathroom towel with a guy's face on it, and I learned a secret god religion. I walked out onto the savannah cliffside and witnessed the most gorgeous sunset view in the entire game. I took screenshots for our video thumbnail right away. I ran down the mountain naked to get my items before they despawned. I grabbed my gear, but that same wild tiger appeared right behind me. I sprinted in fear and saw 2 baby rhinoceros models on the ground. I clicked the pickup key instantly mid-run. Absolutely jackpot. The tiger stopped to fight the adult rhinos, who then ran into a mother elephant. In the middle of this massive animal war, I spotted baby elephants. I snatched them up as well and ran for the hills. I used my bow to help the mother elephant defeat the rhino. Then harvested the corpses for an immense amount of tikka. My bags were completely full of riches, but my greed took over me once again. I shot an arrow at the white leopard, 3 skull icons. and it chased me into a pack of adult tigers. I got trapped between the monsters and died. Losing all that incredible loot, I was devastated. I quickly crafted emergency gear, ran back, and successfully lured the tiger into a wild elephant. While they were fighting each other, I sneaked in, grabbed my cursed loot, and ran all the way home. Back at the homestead, I could finally breathe normally again. I looked at my inventory. We successfully brought home 2 baby elephants, 2 baby rhinos, and 2 baby tigers. I placed them all into our animal pens and fed them meat and berries to grow them into elite mounts. What an absolute wild one. My playthrough was completely brutal, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Give me some tips on what things I did wrong. If you enjoyed this long-form survival adventure, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, you absolute legends. I will see you in the next episode.